Hey there, it's Tim. So it's been a bit of a rough couple of weeks, and I'm behind a week on my Frugal Things series, but I'm doing the last 2 weeks in this video. Sorry the phone is shaking, I'm holding it. I'll just press it against the wall, maybe that'll help. So anywho, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 frugal things to share today. Let's see. So for the frugal wins, these are just in random order over the last 2 weeks, but I had a coworker that had extra leftovers at work, and I was able to eat this really delicious shrimp pasta for lunch one day, which prevented me from eating out. Now is probably a good time to insert a frugal fail, which is that I didn't go to the grocery store again. This is like a recurring theme in these videos, that I just don't make it to the store. And I think it's just because, you know, I have to take the time to meal plan, and I want to use the Ibotta app, and I want to check coupons, and then I want to see what I have already, and then I need to do the planning, and that's just a lot to do. And I haven't found a good routine time to do it. So I don't, and then I spend all my money eating out all the time, except for the day that I got leftovers from a coworker. So that's a frugal win. I paid off 4 outstanding debts in the last 2 weeks, and these were little baby debts. Like, I'm talking, the cumulative total was probably under $40 between these 4 things, and it's just pathetic that I let them go and ignored them for so long. I forgot about them, to be honest, and finally I was going through an old pile of bills, and I decided to call to see if they were even still active, and they were. So I made the payments, and now they're all done. So it feels good to check off those 4 things. I also, I had my taxes done. My mom did my taxes. She's an accountant, so it's fine. It's not just that I'm an irresponsible 30-year-old who doesn't know how to do his taxes. I use a professional. She just happens to be my mom. But I owed her $700 over the last year. I had borrowed some money, and so out of my tax refund, I'm paying back that $700. So that is definitely an awesome frugal win. I guess that's a 5th outstanding debt that's been paid off. And then twice I ordered through Uber Eats, which is, you know, that delivery service, so you can order food to your location. And when I work at the hotel, I like to use Uber Eats because there's not a lot to eat nearby. And twice Uber Eats messed up my order. So the first time I called and they refunded the order, and I was able to still kind of eat it. The second time, the order was so wrong that I couldn't eat it. I wanted a steak burrito with no beans and no salsa, but what I got with it was a burrito with only beans and only salsa, so I couldn't eat it. And so I got that refunded as well, but I also didn't eat it. So it's kind of, I guess that one was a wash, but the one day where I ate and got the refund was a win. Speaking of a wash, this one was kind of really discouraging, and probably part of the reason I went a week without posting. Last week, as I was kind of getting ready to do my video, and I was paying off some bills, and I was getting my budget going and whatnot, I was wrapping up my Seattle trip, which I guess I'm going to insert a frugal fail here. You might remember from my last video, I added $100 to my budget for Seattle so that I had a $600 budget, and I still went over that. So my total went over by about $48 that I went over budget for my Seattle trip. So that was a frugal fail too. But coming off of the Seattle trip, I was kind of going through the rental car and the hotel and trying to determine you know, how much money I was getting back from those deposits, and the rental car had a crack in the windshield, which I didn't notice, and they told me that I had to pay an additional $250 deductible, which I just didn't have laying around. So I asked if I could wait until payday, and then I was just really discouraged for about a week. Sorry, I'm just like fidgeting with the phone. I was really discouraged for about a week and didn't know what I was gonna do, and I was gonna have to trim the budget and some other things, and I finally, on payday, called, and I remembered that the rate I booked through included a damage waiver, and so they said, yep, you're right, that's on here, we didn't see it, and they were able to waive the $250 fee. So it was gonna be a really huge Frugal fail, but because I called and double checked, they waived it, so it kind of became a wash because it wasn't anything I should have paid in the first place, and I didn't, so it worked out. So let's see, I think that's about it. This is really random, I'm just kind of rambling. It's the end of the week and I'm exhausted. The only other piece I guess I have noted here for a frugal fail is that I did go over budget, obviously, since I didn't eat out for, since I did not get groceries, I ate out a lot, so my personal budget went over. But the whole point of budgeting, as I say from week to week, is to avoid overdrafts. And one of my huge goals for 2017 is to have no overdrafts. And I did end the week in the positive by a bit, quite a bit, more than I've ever ended a week in the positive in a long time. And so, anywho, while I went over budget, I still didn't go so low that it was a problem. And so that's what we have. I had more positive wins than I had fails. So it was a good week, or a good 2 weeks actually. And those are my 8 random frugal things. I will post again soon. Have a good one.